The beautiful, beautiful age of Hollywood. Once upon a time, the world worshipped gods in tuxedos and gowns. They smiled on red carpets, kissed babies, and lit up the silver screen like they were made of magic and stardust. They were essentially a feast for the eyes, almost unicorn-like. Then they got closer, our stars came down to the earth, and they became even more human. More, how should I put this? Real, touchable.
I'm trying not to freak out today, but the games we've been playing outside of the first game were pretty bad. Coupled with chat trying to rage bait me, I'm not having fun, right? Oh, and then this guy, this fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch! Fuck! Why are we not banning him? Why are we not banning him? He said the same message 189 times. Okay.
No, please.
Okay. Fuck this fucking Legolas looking piece of shit!
When I say okay, click it, alright? 3,
2, 1, roll!
Okay.
Oh, I got a black screen! Wait! And now, well, the new movie stars don't need stages. They need a mic, a monitor, and a Wi-Fi connection. Our icons live stream in hoodies.
Well, one day I went to the thrift store and this hoodie was $1 and I bought the hoodie.
Rage at pixels. And read Reddit like gospel. This is where we're at in 2025, and no one embodies this shift within the culture like, you guessed it, Asmongold. But here's the thing, when millions of people watch a man just talk, that says something about him, but it also says a lot about us. So let's get to the bottom of this right now. Alrighty guys, welcome to the channel. This is Splash Comments. I surf the web and I read 100 comments about particular subjects or people. Right now, this is my streamers edition, and it just so happens to be Asmongold is my #1. So this is my road to 1,000 comments about said topic or person, and we are approaching Asmongold. So if you're new, make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy the video. Because by the end of the video, I'll give my complete commentary and come to an understanding of why we watch people like Asmongold. Why are we so obsessed with streamers, and why are they the new Hollywood, our new celebrities? So, enjoy. Comment number 1. We get, he's gross, he's not smart, he's not attractive, and he's just not really likable. That's just the reason why. He's relatable to the average person. I think this is true. This is probably the main reason. Let me close my neighbor's dog is barking. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But what I was gonna say is, I think it's because he looks and feels like the average person, but I think it's more so that he feels like the average person. He feels very relatable, given the fact that he doesn't have to, you know, be this relatable. Like, I mean, he's a millionaire. He can be as bougie as he wants, but he just feels like your friend next door, the friend that you know right now. You know, it's like, it's just normal. Comment number 2. In response to that, we get exactly that, LMAO. Plenty of slightly more miserable people relate to the guy. He's consistent and vocal enough to garner an audience as well. Add in some hot takes and controversy and you're golden to stay afloat. And that's pretty much it, just being consistent. Like, he's been streaming for a while now. If I remember correctly, he was doing World of Warcraft. It seems like he's just been doing that, and over time he's built an audience. Pretty inspirational, might I say. Comment number 3. We get a user that says, hey, I'm miserable and hate him too. I think there's a lot of people that watch streamers that are miserable. Hear me out. I think that they want to live this particular life, but they're not actually living it. So they kind of live like vicariously through other people. And because streamers come off very relatable, I think that's why they get so much attention. Because they're just gamers, right? They're just people that are gaming, sitting at home in their room, talking, or just doing what most people really want to do. That's what I think. Comment number 4. It would be, we gotta use that, says it would be unfair to imply that the average person is gross, not smart and unattractive. Folks generally idolize someone who seems to be doing better than them, not worse. So his audience is probably individuals who are far down the social hierarchy. Sounds shallow, I know. Honestly, I kind of think the same to some degree. I mean, I don't know. I think it's that, and it's obviously more layered than that. Because some people might just genuinely think he's a cool dude that aren't quote unquote average. They just are a fan of him because he's so normal. Comment number 5. Someone says a person is smart, people are dumb. I'm just gonna simply agree with this. It's true. Comment number 6. We get, this is a real take. He's an insanely average guy looking at stuff on the internet, having opinions on things he has minimal knowledge about. Like me, for real. Edit, but real talk, seeing someone in a shit lit room, drinking out of a foam cup, eating a microwave pizza is more relatable to my working ass than someone in $1 million home. Pretty rooms talking about their overseas vacations. This seems to be the consensus. He's just super relatable. But I think it's more so that he feels relatable. Like, he doesn't just look relatable, he feels like you can see that he is just your average person. Comment number 7. This user says he's worse than average in each way, but still very successful in spite of it. He's a geek folk hero. Geek folk hero, I kind of like that. That could be like somebody's gamer tag or YouTube channel, geek folk hero. All right, comment number 8. This user says the average person has kept a dead rat as an alarm clock because the smell woke them up. Not sure what you're alluding to. Maybe this is something I don't know, but okay, buddy. Comment number 9. This user says I used to watch him back when I played World of Warcraft. I now realize that he's kind of a narcissist. I feel like you can make that argument for really any content creator, anybody that's doing anything that's in the limelight. I mean, you kind of have to be into yourself to some degree. I mean, you're filming yourself. You initially start off talking to yourself, and then people kind of join in. I don't think he's a narcissist based off what I've seen in like the he's full of himself way, but in some regard, you kind of have to be a content creator. You have to be confident within yourself to do the stuff that he does, right? Some people are scared to get on camera and speak. Some people are scared to, some people are shy, some people are nervous, some people care, a lot about what people think. He doesn't, and look where it's gotten him. Comment number 10. I wish I could tell you I detest him, but why? Come on, you gotta elaborate on that. We want to know why. That's what we're kind of getting at here. Comment number 11. Why? Okay, comment number 12. He's gross, he's not smart, he's not attractive, and he's just not really likable. I'm also going to add loud, too uninformed to be this opinionated and generally annoying. Clearly we know now all of this is true because we know that he's likable because I'm doing a video about him right now and a lot of people seem to like him. Well, let me correct myself. Just because I'm doing a video on him doesn't mean a lot of people like him. But we do know that a lot of people actually do like him. So we know that that's not true. To be completely honest with you, this just seems like just a rude comment in general. But this is what the digital streets are saying, at least in Reddit. Comment number 13. This user says, I feel like I need to shower and brush my teeth every time I see him. Wow. I do remember sometime back then I was watching the YouTube creators Abba and Preach, and they did a video on one of his videos where he said something about him not showering for 3 weeks, which I thought was really interesting. I'm like, okay, buddy, I don't know. To each their own. I mean, a millionaire not showering for 3 weeks, not even like trying to approach this in like a scientific approach. I don't know. Like usually if I hear something like that, it's because they're studying something about the human body. But he just didn't want to shower for 3 weeks. And I remember him alluding or saying something to the effect of what he does for a living and what he does in his life doesn't require him to actually shower and go out so he doesn't shower. Because he literally just sits at home and streams most of the time. Which I thought, okay, but like, don't you want to be clean for yourself? But hey, to each their own. This man is doing his thing. I think that's off, but I'm not him. Comment number 14. The fact that he has millions of dollars and still lives like an absolute slob is mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. I remember I was browsing through X and he had posted like portions of his house, and put it like this, it looked like that house or where he was living had been abandoned for some time. Comment number 15. He has enough money to hire people to deep clean his house 100 times over, but he doesn't do it. That makes it even more gross to me somehow. Yeah, that is a little off. I don't know why. You know what I think? I think he just got so used to streaming, so he enjoyed it so much that it kind of just took over everything. So if anything outside of what he does regularly, he just discounted pretty much. Like, he knows it's wrong, but he doesn't really care because he wants to stream or play WoW or, you know, talk about politics or argue with Hassan so much that, you know, it just nothing else matters. Comment number 16. This person says he grew poor and still has the mindset that he can't spend money and doesn't give a shit if that's the explanation. It's mental with baggage. Well, maybe he did, and I can understand that. How can you blame him? If somebody grew up poor, then they start making millions over time. Like, why would you want to spend your money on unnecessary things? I don't know the kind of house that he lives in, but if he lives in like your average house and makes that much money, he's saving way more money because he's living under his means, which is what you want to do. Comment number 17. This person says, no excuse, still mental baggage that he has to grow out of, that he has to grow out of, but that's the explanation, that's all. Maybe it is a bit of mental baggage, but I mean, we all kind of have that, right? Comment number 18. This person says, probably resonates with the insecure losers. To me, he's just another repulsive conservative. I guess it was okay when I didn't know his politics and he just used to yap about Dark Souls, which is one of my favorite games. But once I learned how deprived his thoughts on the world are and how disgusting he lives, I can't see anything worth giving a view. Hey, you know what's funny? I bet you he doesn't care at all. A lot of these people actually do not care. Like, they just do who they do themselves. Like, Asmongold is being Asmongold, whether you are a viewer or not a viewer. This is the case with most people that are in the limelight. Like, it's cool if you're a fan and it's cool if you're not a fan. I'm still gonna do this regardless. But I hear you, user Tokyo Splash 2814. Comment number 19. Oh, we get another relatable comment. This is probably because he's more relatable to the average Gen Z guy. That's someone like Andrew Tate or Donald. I don't even know who that guy is, but the dude is relatable. Comment number 20. This person says he promotes Donald Trump. I think he's paid by Trump campaign to promote pro-Trump propaganda, like the tariffs will make America great. Whoa, he just made a very bold statement. Nor in all of my research of surfing the web on these comments have I seen anything, him being associated with any sort of Trump propaganda. I could be wrong though, maybe that is out there. I just think this is a very kind of comment. Comment number 21. This person's name is Magger. He says, I've heard him mention a couple times how certain policy is great for him, being rich, but wouldn't be good for the average American. 99% of his viewers, but they don't care apparently. The rich get richer and the poor stay poor. We know this information. Comment number 22. This person says, you only don't like him because he doesn't agree with you. Most of his takes are very normal and logical and the average person agrees with them. Not his fault that, that the Reddit echo chamber doesn't have brains, so they resort to attacking his irrelevant looks. Since when do you need good looks to be a live streamer? Anyway, this is a fashion show. I would say this is probably like the most based comment because I've read some pretty based comments here, but I like the explanation of this particular comment. So shout out to Flacco Gar Cons. I agree. I think, you know, when the stuff that I see when I watch him here and there, when like clips of him pop up, if he's not losing his brain cells, I do think that, again, not only does he feel like the average person, but he speaks to the average person because he really just is the average person. I would say we all are, or most of us are, but he's just on camera and you're not. That's the main difference. So the things that he says, generally people are going to agree with. Of course, you're going to see the more dramatic back and forth takes because those are the things that get attention. But for the most part, most people probably agree with what he's saying. That seems to be the consensus. Comment number 23. Okay, listen to this comment right here. Also, most of his takes are completely uninformed. Things that could genuinely be solved with a single Google search. Why can't ICE go into schools? Is that like a safe zone? LMAO. You need criminal warrants signed by a federal judge to go into schools or churches. Generally 5 seconds to figure it out. He reminds me of Tim Pool a lot, to be honest. Okay, but peep this. Notice how it says his takes are completely uninformed, but he speaks to the average person and the average person most likely is uninformed. But this is why it resonates. Do you see the correlation here? Do you see it? Comment number 24. This person says, forget about politics. 90% of his gaming takes are well informed and very rational. And that's most of his audience, gaming content related people. This is also another based thing because remember, he's a gamer first. He's not a politician. He doesn't speak on political things, at least not to the degree in which he should be. Remember, he's your average person, your average gamer person. So he's going to be more informed about gaming. Yeah, politics here and there, but anybody who's actually in politics, usually I would imagine if they hear him speaking on political issues, it'll probably go in one ear and not the other, because you don't know what you're talking about is probably what they're thinking. Here we are, comment number 25. This person says, reading these comments, LMAO, most people replying are so effing cooked, bro. Saw one person saying Gen Z dudes looking for the role models and or father figures. Asmongold is considered a good example of a role model to some of these people, question mark. I think he's considered a great role model if you want to be a streamer or maybe somebody who wants to start doing content, simply because he's not the greatest looking person, but he's just your average person with an outspoken personality who isn't scared to be on camera. And that could be inspirational to some people. And that's how I would look at that. I'd be like, hey, he's doing it, I can do it too. That's my take. That's what the Reddit people are saying. Comment number 1. This user says, Asmon is just really level-headed and speaks common sense. That's how he's so likable. Average frame of mind, average person, correlation, people are gonna agree, so yeah. Comment number 2, Asmon is at the same time more hated and loved than ever before. He's reaching untold success at the same time he was kicked from OTK. Asmon has no problem with drama, it's gold. Yeah, and I think that most people, like if you're a streamer or if you're just, again, an internet person, drama doesn't work against you, it only works for, well, it works for you in terms of like you reaching other audiences and other people and stuff like that. So I think he's perfectly okay with that, you know, him and his internet drama with Hassan and everything. It works for him. Comment number 3. Some people don't hate Asmon, some people do. These are very loud and annoying people, but they have absolutely no impact on what everyone else thinks of Asmon. That's quite clear. I don't see Asmon stressing on any of these situations or comments or Reddit echo chambers or digital echo chambers at all. He's kind of just doing his thing. Comment number 4. Why Asmon is a based effing Chad. Okay, you hear that, Asmon? You're a based effing Chad. Comment number 5. Oh my, this person says, like Trump, Asmon is viewed as the biggest threat to these people's beliefs because he punches back and refuses to submit. Wow. Comment number 6. So basically, there is no reason to legitimately hate Asmon. You can disagree with him, but hating him is completely unwarranted. That saying, I found myself watching his streams more often because of his mindset and viewpoints on matters. Great video, thank you. And I'm gonna leave a link to the videos of these YouTubers comment section that I'm going through. It's a combination of a variety of different YouTubers. Can't listen, you guys, I can't just go to an Asmongold YouTube channel and go into his comment section. Everything is going to support him. So I have to go around the web and look at every little thing. Comment number 7. This person says, I don't like Asmon to be honest, but I respect the fact that he's honest with his feelings. Not too many other streamers can say the same. That's a big one. He's real. You'll know where he stands. He's not like some of these other people that, you know, they say things because they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to step on your toes. They don't want to get in trouble. They still want you to watch them. He's like, I don't really care. This is who I am. I'm not going to change for anyone. That's that. And people will respect that. I respect people who are authentically themselves. Yeah, I don't agree with a lot of things. I think him not showering for 3 weeks is crazy, but hey, that's him. Like, that's unique to him. He's not being a phony or fake about it at all. Comment number 8. Yeah, people hate him. People will find a reason to hate anything, right? Like, people could just hate him because they're jealous of him. That's usually where that comes from. Comment number 9. Asmon recently reacted to a channel with 300 subs. She shot from 300 subs to just today 100K. I wouldn't have heard her without Asmongold. In less than a week, she got 100K subs because of him. To say he stole from her would be not just bending the truth, it would be outright lying. So we see that, you know, oftentimes like Asmon will do like sort of reaction videos or overview people making content about him, and it literally changes their lives because he's so popular. I don't see anything wrong with this. I think that's perfectly fine. Like, him doing that to somebody, changing their life is like, I mean, that's amazing. Who wouldn't want that for themselves? So shouts out to Asmon for that. Comment number 10. We get another comment saying, I think people hate him because because he has quite a normie takes. He speaks out loud what a lot of people think unconsciously, and that makes him relatable. So again, we get more of just this normal sort of takes, average person sort of vibe. That seems to be a major consensus with Mr. Asmongold here. Comment number 11. Ooh, we get a pretty big comment here. All right. Asmongold literally not only defended a lot of women from his chat, but he even polled, his audience back on election day only to get the conclusion that around 2/3 of his audience either don't mind or wouldn't even actually support trans people as long as they're 18 and know women's sports stuff. That's a massive majority. He literally proved the point that the majority of people don't even mind trans people. And that's with his incredibly conservative audience, where there's plenty of people even from the Middle East and other countries where being trans is an issue. It's sad because he gets so much crap for basically nothing just because he has his own opinions and stuff and voices stuff in super blunt and somewhat rough manner. And like I said, people will respect that because he's not someone who just goes with what is trending, right? He's not someone that just is gonna go with the flow. He's actually going to look at the situation for what it is and speak his mind. And to someone who does go with the flow, they're gonna think he's crazy. Right? That's really how this goes. Like, if you have your own mind, apparently you become a problem. If everyone is saying go left, and for whatever reason, and that could be anything, you want to go right, and you even explain why you're going to want to go right. It could even be as simple as, I just want to go right. I don't have to explain myself to you. They're going to look at you crazy. We know this. Comment number 12, and peep this. They hate him because they can't control him. This is very true. The moment people see that you are not just going to go with the flow, it's not going to be easy, they make you a problem. When really you're not a problem, you're just questioning why you're doing things. Why are we doing this? What's this about? Right? But they look at it as you're asking too many questions. You're making too much sense. Stop making sense. Stop it. Stop making sense. Comment number 13. This person says, I'm 44 years old. While I don't agree with everything he says, nor should you, dude has base takes and lived life experience that can side with normal Americans. And this is what I said from the Reddit user, from the Reddit section. He appeals to the majority of people. And also, Asmongold is what, 34, 35? So he does have some lived experience. Even if he is just, you know, gaming all day, he has more experience than somebody that's like 22, 23. You would think he would know better. His brain is, what is it? His frontal lobe is actually fully developed. So yeah, there is that experience, you know, counts for a lot. Comment number 14. The thing is, you can put basically anyone on Asmongold's place and it won't change much. People have become prone to adopt other people's opinions instead of forming their own. Social media and algorithms now decide what to think and what not to. This is very true. Very, very true. And I even see this in my own life with people, other social media people. It's like you, especially with, you know, within the women today, it's like when you talk to them, it's like they can't actually think for themselves. It's the trippiest thing. I'm like, do you really believe what you're telling? Like, are you listening to what you're saying? And you know it's wrong. The thing is, you know it's wrong, but because it goes against what's trending, they can't say it's wrong because they're gonna get scrutinized or whatever. This is why Asmongold, this, again, the average look, the normal feel, the fact that he speaks his mind, people respect that, and that will resonate with somebody more than anything because it's authentic. Authenticity, what's real, is always going to resonate with the person, the people, no matter what. Comment number 15. Asmongold is the middleman, the normie opinion. You don't need to agree with him on everything, but knowing what he thinks and why he does it is useful because he represents a substantial portion of the gaming community. Ooh, the gaming community. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really looked much into like the nuances of the gaming community because it's evolved so much over the years. The last time I was really like diving deep into like gamer content was when I was seeing this creator talking about how expensive everything is and how these games want to give you, you know, basically video games that aren't even complete, with glitches and all these things, and then they charge like a whole bunch of money for just little things like a color change. But I'll have to tap deeper into that. Comment number 16. This person says the fact that one half of these people can never actually counter his points and just insult his appearance or make up some BS about him being racist, homophobic, just proves they can't find any actual problems with his points. I mean, well, that's debating, right? Like if you're gonna say something, if you're gonna make a statement about something, right? You can't just say you're ugly. It's like, at that point, when you're just getting assaulted, you know that you've won the argument because they're not actually saying anything that matters. You're just gonna, it's like the lowest point of arguing, if you even want to call it arguing. Comment number 17. This person says, I was unsure about him at first because of the online hate, but when I started to watch him, I realized he's quite open-minded and fair. I now watch him every day. His stream is very entertaining. I mean, he seems like a pretty entertaining person. You know, and honestly, I think most people are, they just don't realize it. I really think most people don't know how much their character and how much their personality could take them if they just did not care what people thought. And I don't mean that in like a rude, like snarkly way. Like, you can actually do the same thing he's doing. It's not that difficult if you actually applied yourself to it. Comment number 18. Oh, we got another thing why I feel people saying Asmon only has a brainwashed fan base is untrue is because while Asmongold has his own opinion, he clearly also actively encourages thinking for yourself, which goes against the brainwashed hive mind narrative people accuse his viewers of. It's kind of ridiculous. The culture is saying do this and you don't do it, you become a problem. Comment number 19. A wise man once said some cultures are inferior to others, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. Agreed. Comment number 20. What I love about his reaction videos is that he always credits the source in the description. A lot of other reactors deliberately hide the source, so you will not have any idea who made the video or what the title even is. Even on his live stream in Twitch, he spammed the link on the chat. Out of 10 takes, maybe I will disagree with 2 or 3, but he gives his opinion on a lot of topics that other reactors will ignore completely to play safe. He takes on Hassan or Mr. Beast. Might be lukewarm, but at least he covered the topic that a lot are afraid to touch. This is very important. There is a boldness to him, which is very important in a culture like how ours is, especially if you're in the West right now, where everything is so, especially when it comes to men, so submissive and so meek, and he is perfectly fine and again being bold about his takes whether you like it or not. So yeah, I mean, I commend him for that. Comment number 21. The fact that Asmongold is treated like some kind of extraordinary thinker, almost on the level of a renowned philosopher, is honestly a sign that something's off with humanity. Always assumed his opinion were just reflections of what most people already think. A lot of what he says feels like it should be common sense or basic human psychological understanding. This is very, very true. I remember reading something about him being like the Socrates of the streamers. But again, from what I see, his things just resonate with people. It's nothing, it's really a reflective of where we are in our culture right now. The fact that basic takes that most people think become these awe-inspiring things. It's like, we're going backwards. The imagination or the minds of these people today are going very, very backwards. If you're looking at Asmongold as like this super philosophical, in awe sort of thinker, something's wrong with you, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He's not, just based off what I've seen. It's literally just, from my perspective, common knowledge. I guess common sense isn't common sense anymore these days. Comment number 22. I've noticed this about Asmongold too. I will always see posts or videos about him claiming he's X, Y, and Z, and then when they present their evidence or I dig for it, usual case, I'm just like, what? How do you come to this opinion based on this evidence? Does not compute at all. A lot of the time it's also misleading. Edited clips are deliberately taken out of context too. Well, welcome to the internet. That's all the internet is, right? It's taking clips here, taking clips there, speaking your mind, and kind of forming this narrative. I'm doing it right now. But I'm trying to give a well-rounded comments of these. You know, you got some positive, some negative, some things in between. It seemed like Reddit was kind of a bit more negative than these YouTube comments, but yeah. Comment number 23. Reason why Asmongold's React content are so popular is because he actually commentates current events and topics rather than just plastering his face on a video and making facial expressions. His reacts and value to the topic, add value to the topic and further values it. It's why it's so entertaining. Rather, he is entertaining. I would say that most people are entertaining too, like beyond just Asmongold. Again, if you're an aspiring streamer or somebody watching this, I think you could do this too. Just, you have to stand for something though. Like Asmongold clearly has opinions, right? He has a voice and he stands on that. Most people today, they don't have a voice. I mean, or their voice again is the culture. So if you are someone who kind of isn't, and when I say this, like, don't just be anti-culture for the sake of being like anti-culture, but like, he's just him. Just be you. And if you think XYZ, then think XYZ regardless of what other people are saying. That's what he does. That's what you should do. Comment number 24. I have a few friends that do not like Asmongold, but they cannot articulate why. Every time you challenge them, they have nothing actual behind their opinion. Immediately go defensive and emotional. You can really tell they were not a single thought in their head, just an acquired opinion they repeat. And that's most things today, unfortunately. Something's trending about a particular subject or topic or person and it's negative, then people will hear that, see that, and then go with that. This is called bot thinking. This is our I'm sorry, you know, thinking. These are just called bots because they don't think. There's not a thought behind those eyes. Comment number 25. Also, people don't seem to understand that watching someone and agreeing with them is two different things. I can watch Asmon while having a different opinion, and that's okay. Having access to other people's POV is nice and makes for a nice way to broaden one's perspective. I completely agree with this. There's this thing today where it's like, let's say you're a fan of a certain entertainer, right? And they have this obscure thought or opinion about something that you don't like. And then people like, they'll say like, oh, you're a fan of whoever this person is. He or she does this. What's wrong with you? Like they try to put their way of life or whatever it is, how they go onto you. It's like, I'm just a fan of his or her music or content. I don't agree with what they did, but I like this. Like, that's the trippy part. Like people really try to like blame you for something that you didn't even do, but just because you're a fan of that person, like they'll try and look at you crazy. It's crazy. So we're finally to the good part, and these are my thoughts, at least as of right now. This could change when I do part 2 and we go through the next 50 comments. But if you were to ask me, hey Bryson, what do you think of Asmongold? I'd say something like this. I think he's a pretty cool dude. I don't see any major issues with him. And I think that most of the issues that we see are the people that have something to complain to him about, usually stems from his clips when he is talking about something political, which wouldn't be, I'd assume, most of his content, as he is a gamer first, and now I just think he does a lot of IRL things. That seems to be the disconnect, and it makes sense. Asmongold is in his mid-30s. He comes from a different era than, I'm sure, his core fan base. I'm sure they're a lot younger than him, and people from his generation are going to be more right-leaning, which means they won't have the same views that he has. So when he does briefly speaks on these political issues, there's going to be friction. And that seems to be, so at least from what I've seen, the only friction, that seems to be the only place where the friction is coming from. Outside of political conversations, everyone seems to like him. So I think he's pretty cool. I think that he stands for something, and I think that he isn't easily swayed by the culture, which is very important. We see most people today, they are swayed by the culture. They are swayed by what's popular. They're swayed by what everyone is saying, and this is what it's supposed to be. And it doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. And I can appreciate that, especially as someone who is in his position, where you will see most people just following the current. So I would say that I like that about him. I would also say that his as far as the whole average thing about him, that also is a large amount of appeal to him. But I want to kind of go deeper into that, because I think that people have this negative sort of aura, if you will, attached to the average person. Or if you're someone that just says I'm average, that's supposed to mean this god awful thing. I don't know when that came about, but I just want to let you guys know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with being average. People have tried to make that like this bad thing, but people relate to average because it's relatable. Most people are average. Contrary to popular belief, right? Most people are in this middle section, if you will. And I'd argue that he's not even that. Now, I think that the average conversation stems from his physical appearance, mainly. Like, that definitely stems from that, and his attitude and how he goes about life. But let me just break something down for you guys. Most people are average. When you meet these celebrities or these popular influencers, which I have, let me tell you something. They are as normal as you and me. Now, their social media presence, their reputation, with clips and things, can precede you and make you feel a certain way about them. But when you are with them, they are just normal people. And the thing is, with streamers, you can see more into their life than like a Chris Pratt or Denzel Washington. Like, no one is just watching Chris Pratt or Denzel Washington eat breakfast, So, but with the streamers, we're seeing Asmongold eat pizza and talk to you guys and things like that. It's normal. And it feels average. Most people are that, by the way. And I'd argue that he's actually not average, but we are bamboozled by the fact that we can see into his life. The dude is a millionaire, right? The dude has tons of views on the internet. He is he's a millionaire. He has tons. Like, he is not average by any stretch of the imagination. You just see what's going on in his life. So therefore, that is what people are connecting to. So I would say, yes, cool dude. He's bold, you know, which people might not say. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Asmongold is bold, but from what I've seen, he seems to be bold, which is something that is also cool to see today, because you rarely see it today. And he stands on his 2 feet. Like, he actually, even if it's not like what we've read in one of the comments, even if it's not well defended, he stands for something. He stands for, like, this is how I think, this is what it is. And most people aren't like that today. So I think it's pretty cool. Now, as I go deeper into these comments, which I'll be going into Twitter comments and TikTok comments, maybe I'll find out some new information about him. Maybe not, but as of right now, these are my thoughts on him. So if you have been enjoying this episode and you are going to be enjoying, hopefully you'll be a fan of me and enjoy this series that I'll have on streamers, make sure to comment down below and help me out with the algorithm. I want to do politicians even after this, and even some religious figures. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying doing this, so I hope that I can create this in a way that is captivating, not just for myself, but for you guys. So let me know down below what you think, and let's get part 2 out soon. So just rock with me. Till next time.